Chapter 5 of A Story from Another Universe, Missed Opportunities. Michele's family. As much as Michele felt in seventh heaven, it was pretty hard to drift away. Anne was silent. Her silence was not the kind that would make one exactly comfortable. It was a kind you could cut with a knife in the air as a result of the tension it made. In some way, without saying anything, Anne was furious. Seeing that there were no words to break the silence, Michele ignored the fact that her mother was even in the car or that she was making her way back home. Anne was a divorcee with many problems of her own. When Michele was 7, one of the reasons Steve looked after Michele was due to the fact that both Anne and Steve's mother went out drinking. When it got too much to handle, Steve's mother would return to Anne's house to take care of the girl and send Steve home to do his homework or housework or maybe simply to go to bed. What Anne did during those times, not many people know about or wish to know. Because of this, Anne was furious. Anne was always furious at times of silence. Sometimes it had something to do with regret for her past misdeeds, and at other times it was due to her inability to control her drinking. She continued to ignore her mother's plea to be heard. She knew what her mother overheard. She knew that Anne was behind Steve's house waiting to hear what was being said, but she did not know why nor care to entertain any thought that her own mother was peering down judgmentally at her own life. After all, wasn't a daughter to be dated? Didn't Michele have a right to mess her life up like Anne did? Who was Anne to judge Michele for anything, seeing that she failed at life herself? All these thoughts kept jumping from Anne to Michele and backwards, from Steve's house to Michele's house, in what felt like 40 years of driving due to the tension and poison the silence created. Finally, back at home, Michele stormed through the front door and headed up to her room. "Hey, Mitch! Don't you dare run away from me! I want to talk!" Anne's demands were met with a slam of Michele's door. She did not care about her mother's feelings nor anything right now. Steve loved her, and that was that. Michele was in seventh heaven and was in her room allowing those fantasies to drive her further into a heaven that never seemed to exist on earth. The next morning, Michele came down the stairs for breakfast. She was hesitant to even leave her personal paradise, but the thought of being with Steve later was enough to get her going. "I will traverse the hell below to reach my heaven," Michele uttered to herself as she proceeded down the stairs. Meanwhile, in the low-beamed woody interior of the dining room downstairs, there was Anne, Laurie, Michele's younger brother by 5 years, and Stanley, her youngest brother, seated around the table while Anne cooked breakfast. "You're down at last, sweetie. Come, take your brekkie," Anne told her. All the boys could do was see the tension between mother and daughter. It didn't shock nor surprise them. They always found themselves in the middle of the battle between these two women of steel. As soon as Anne was about to be seated, Michele decided to get up and go. "Where are you off to, young woman?" her mum suddenly shouted. "You ain't going anywhere till you sit and get fed." With that, Michele obliged. She sat as a good girl and ate her breakfast in silence. "Boys, hurry up, brush your teeth and get ready for school. Georgie will be around to take you two off." The boys obeyed and scurried away. "As for you, young lady, we need to talk," Anne said, facing her daughter. Michele felt very uneasy. She said she needed to hurry along to school. "I've told Georgie that you ain't going to uni today," Anne said to Michele. "What? No school today? How can you do this, Mum? Fool around with my education like it means nothing to you. No, I won't stay and listen to you babble about your misgivings." With that, Michele got up and slammed the front door. Her mother pursued her and slapped the daughter for insolent insubordination. It seemed that Anne was on the drink. Okay? She could only deal with Michele when she was drunk, and most of the time violence proved to be the winner. Michele was out for the count, lying with a lash mark on her face on the kitchen floor. Anne got up and stepped over her daughter. She took another gulp of whiskey and decided to lift her daughter, only to find she was too heavy. So Anne too fell on the floor, and the two women were in an unusual embrace on the floor. They both suffered concussions from the fall. Well, we'll have to see what comes next. Will they survive it? Will they not? We'll see that in Chapter 6. Stay tuned. Goodbye.